They believe that the future is in AI applications, not in AI chatbots that are meant to be just generalists. You've heard of Deepseek, right? Where there's some other AI platforms coming out of China that are meant to be better and cheaper than Deepseek. Baidu, who is essentially the Google of China, has just released two new models. The first one is Ernie 4.5 Turbo and Ernie X1 Turbo. And these have received some serious upgrades. They have enhanced multimodal skills, which means that they can understand text, images, and even video. Plus, they're meant to have some boosted reasoning capabilities as well. The X1 Turbo model in particular is designed for deep reasoning and complex problems. And the biggest news about all of this is the cost. It's almost 40% cheaper than Deepseek, and Deepseek was already one of the cheapest models accessible on the market. So we're talking about a new model that's way more powerful and way cheaper. And Baidu is claiming that these models are beating the likes of Deepseek and OpenAI's ChatGPT 4o, especially on key benchmarks for reasoning and coding. And Baidu's CEO, Robin Li, says that the lower costs will help developers focus on creating super interesting and useful AI apps. And this seems to be a key push from a lot of the AI platforms and models coming out of China. They don't just want to be a one-stop shop for everything. Instead, they want to provide a really strong and solid foundational AI resource that developers can then take, adapt that, shrink that down into the size of an app so that we as users have got just more powerful AI apps on our phones, rather than just having one AI tool that kind of says that it does everything, but it doesn't always do everything that great if you don't really understand prompting. And Baidu even took a little bit of a stab at the likes of Deepseek by saying that Deepseek is just a large language model and doesn't have the ability to be able to produce images, create video content, or any of these more complex tasks that we're kind of seeing some of these latest AI models being pretty good at. And it's not just Baidu here. Alibaba today, Tuesday, April 29th, has just launched Qwen 3. And this latest model is an enhanced version of its flagship AI model. And this upgrade is meant to introduce hybrid reasoning, and it's designed to improve adaptability and efficiency for app and software developers. However, one thing that's quite surprising here, or maybe not so surprising, is these latest models that are just coming out of China, in some benchmarks, are actually a little bit behind the likes of Grok 3. That's the first time I've been hearing people talking about Grok 3 actually, in benchmarking standards at least, and Google Gemini's 2.5 Pro. The biggest thing that we're seeing out of China though is really when it comes to the costing, and in particular, that's quite powerful and impactful for developers who want to build out AI applications. The models that are accessible in the West at the moment are just really expensive compared to the likes of these models that are coming out in China right now, which probably means that a lot of AI app developers are going to end up basing their applications on these Chinese models that are coming in at much, much lower price points. So what do you think here? Do you think that this will actually drive the cost of OpenAI's ChatGPT, Gemini, or these other tools at the moment and make them a lot cheaper and accessible for people? Or do you think that the models from the West side, given the amount of money that's been poured into them, aren't going to be able to reduce their costs that much, and instead it's going to give an opportunity for these Chinese app developers to just leapfrog a lot of their Western counterparts? Let me know what you think here.